We are all equal. It's time that we're all heard. Welcome to A Voice for All. I am your host, Jamila Gamble, and this is our first episode. Thank you so much for tuning in with us, and I hope after watching the show you're able to find something that appeals to you. For those of you who are wondering what A Voice for All is, it's A Voice for All. The show focuses on parents, frontline staff, community programs, and individuals with disabilities, as well as educating the Peel region. Disability awareness has become more of an issue within our community, and here at Rogers and myself for Voice for All, it's my goal to help you, the Peel region, become more aware of the people that are within our community. How many of you know an individual with a disability? Do you have a relative? Do you work in a setting where there are disability clientele? With A Voice for All, it is our mandate basically to help you become more aware on how to interact, how to have a better understanding of what parents may go through, and to really hear what the individuals have to say. On today's show, we have three amazing guests who are going to be here to talk to you about their program. Their center is here in Brampton, and they work with individuals who have disabilities. After the break, we're going to go more into their background and how they came to be. If you have any questions for me during the show or for the guests, you could email me at missjamspcss@gmail.com, or feel free to tweet me at missjamspccs for Twitter. I'm always looking forward to hearing your feedback, your questions, your concerns. It is A Voice for All, so the main point is to really be the voice for you. You're on the other end of the camera. I'm on this end, and that is my goal, to really make sure I'm capturing your voice and for the voice of people who do not have that platform or that stage. Once again, this is our first episode. I am Jamila Gamble. A little bit about myself. I am a DSW by trade, so that's a developmental services worker. I am a community advocate, a fitness instructor, and a family consultant for families who have adolescents and adults with a variety of disabilities. I've been working in the field for 11 years, and I've been living in Brampton for my entire life, so I am a proud Bramptonite. With my background, I feel that I will really be able to connect with you, the viewers, with the guests who are on the show, and be able to really be that voice for you, like I said. Once again, if you have any feedback, any questions, maybe you want to be a guest on the show, missjamspcss@gmail.com is my email, or missjampccs is the Twitter. Your voice is important here for me on the show. As I said, we do have two fantastic guests on the show who are going to be giving you feedback and insight into their program, Rosa Center. It's definitely going to be a good show, and they are our community spotlight. So, like I said, for Voice for All, we do aim to put a spotlight and promote local organizations, empower parents, and be the voice, as I said, for individuals who do have disabilities. Disability awareness is a growing issue, as I mentioned before. So hopefully after tuning into the show, you'll be able to, leave feeling like you know a little bit more about the individuals that are within our community. It's very important that we include everyone, regardless of what, their ability or disability may be. And for some individuals, they don't know that much. So that's my goal here, is to really educate you, to make you know how to talk to people, how to be a community member who's embracing to all abilities and disabilities. And after watching the show, I guarantee that you will be equipped, ready, and in tune with our community programs and staff. Once again, I am Jamila Gamble. This is A Voice for All. I am eager to hear your voice. So Miss Jams, PCCS is my Twitter, missjams.pcss@gmail.com. I am always checking my Twitter and my Gmail, and I am very, very, very excited to hear what you have to say after watching this show this evening. So make sure after the commercial break, you stay tuned, stay on that couch, get your children, get your family, let your neighbors know. We have Rosa Center who's going to be joining us after this break. Make sure you stay tuned. And this is A Voice for All. I am Jamila Gamble. Welcome back to A Voice for All. My name is Jamila Gamble. If you're just tuning in, this is our very first episode, so feel free to get involved in the show and tweet me at MissJamsPCCS for my Twitter, or you could email me at missjams.pcss@gmail.com. Welcome back. This is our first episode, like I said, and this is pretty much my favorite part of the show before we actually get into the interview. Later, I guess a couple weeks ago, we actually did some footage where we went into our community. We were down by the Rosa Center, and we were interviewing people on the street and asking them the question, which was, do you know somebody with a disability? The name of the show is Disability Awareness, and it goes hand in hand with the name of the show, Voice for All. So out on the streets, we were asking you, who do you know who has a disability? Do you have a neighbor, a relative, a coworker? And it was amazing to see that the first 4 people, random people who I interviewed, all had someone who had a disability, whether it was a coworker, a sibling, or even something personal that they are going through themselves. So that really was, to me, it was amazing to know that there are other people in the community, and it's not necessarily children or adults. It's everyday relatives, co-workers, people that we work alongside or have in our lives on a daily basis that has a disability. So we're gonna shoot to this part where you might even see yourself. If you ever see us on the street, do not be camera shy. We might come out and ask you a few questions. Get ready for our Community Voice segment.
My sister actually has epilepsy. She was born with it. She grew up having grand mal seizures. Really hard time growing up. I actually almost died, but made it through, and is a trooper and put herself through high school in later years and is living on her own right now.
I also have a disability. I suffer from depression, and I also suffer from back injuries from a long time ago.
I know multiple people. I work at the YMCA, so we definitely have people coming into that facility with disabilities, and I work with a staff member, John, who has a disability as well.
There was a few people when I attended college who had disabilities, motor skill disabilities or mental emotional disabilities. As well, I know other people, they have like deformities, and they were basically having a lot of problems with their mental and emotional and social well-being.
I know quite a few people that are traumatized, have childhood trauma, and unfortunately it's something that's quite common in our society.
I know a few people with disabilities in the city. I do a lot of volunteer work through the city, through the churches and some fundraisers and whatnot, as well as, I mean, you could honestly say we all pretty much have disabilities, including myself. And, you know, we're just here to help each other the best way we can. Yeah.
So that was our Community Voice segment, and thank you to those individuals who gave us a moment of their time and shared their input. One thing I found really interesting about the input that I heard was that it wasn't necessarily physical disabilities. Oftentimes people associate disabilities as that person who's in a wheelchair or someone who is blind. From the feedback you heard, there was epilepsy, there was emotional trauma, there was back pain, there was gross motor skills. We had a wide variety of disabilities that was brought to our attention. And that was, like I said, amazing to hear, because as a Voice for All, we reach out to all disabilities. It's not necessarily physical or handicapped disabilities. There's the hidden disabilities that we often don't know about, whether it's epilepsy or learning disability or back pains that, you know what, not necessarily everybody shares with us. So if you have a disability yourself, or you have a member who has a disability and you want to share your story with us, I encourage you to get in touch with me, missjams.pcss@gmail.com, or feel free to contact me on Twitter. I know not everybody's on Twitter, but if you are, MissJamsPCCS, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know how many of you work or have met somebody with a disability. How did you feel interacting with those people? Do you feel that you had the right communication tools, how to interact with them? After our break, we'll go to Rosa Center and you'll know how to do it with them. Welcome back to A Voice for All. I am your host, Jamila Gamble. I did mention that the segment before was my favorite part of the show, but this is the big kahuna. This is the part I really, really love because since the name of our show is about disability awareness, we are focusing on our community spotlight. And today we have two amazing individuals from Rosa Center that operates right here in Brampton. So I'd like to welcome Antonio and Maria.
Thank you.
Welcome to A Voice for All.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on.
It's fantastic that you guys are able to come out. And once I heard about Rosa Center, I was determined to have you guys on the show because, as you know, once students who have disabilities are done high school, that's it for them, right? So tell us about Rosa Center.
Rosa Center is a day program that we started in 2008. We started it for adults with disabilities, all disabilities, because of, we actually started it because of my brother and sister, Lucy and Joe, who are both special needs. We found there was no program in Peel for them when we were looking so hard because my mom was getting older, our mom, I should say, was getting older. There were no programs available, so we decided to start Rosa Center in order for Lucy and Joe to go and be at a day program and be with friends. Yeah. And what they do is it's a day program, like I said, and they do life skills. They learn about money management. They learn about just basically everything to do with the life skills that we have to offer at Rosa Center.
And I just want to touch on a few points that you just said. I got the, I guess, the feedback from your staff and your parents. Yes. And I couldn't find one negative thing from what they had to say. And the big concern I heard one parent say was, you know, I was wondering, what is my child going to do? You know, once they're done school, there's, you know, they need to have a social life. They need to learn these life skills. So from what I'm seeing here, they're really pleased with what you're offering. Tell us about some of the clientele that you guys serve at Rosa's.
Tony, go ahead.
Some of the clients are obviously after the age of 21 they come to us. They're autistic. Some of them are developmentally delayed. Some of them are dual diagnoses. Some of them also suffer from a physical impairment as well as a developmental impairment. Right. And they come Monday to Friday from about 9 o'clock in the morning till 4 p.m. And there they get to learn about the life skills, like we said, about... go ahead.
Now,
sorry.
In terms of funding, how does that work for parents? Do you provide some type of support or direction on how they, because I know it's costly. It's one thing to care for an adult from, you know, their necessities of life, but now they have to get involved in community programs. How do you help them with education towards applying for funding?
Well, the funding, we set them up with the Ministry of Community and Social Services, and it usually goes through their social worker. The social worker would typically visit one of our clients in their home, and they apply for either passport funding or special services at home. And some of our clients also use the ODSP to help pay for the services. So they usually get a check depending on the level of disability that they have, and that money goes into their accounts when they're accepted on the program, and then they pay Rosa Center to attend the program.
So that must be a real relief for some of these parents, knowing that there's support and funding out there. Some of the parents I've actually worked with, they don't even know that there's funding available. So it's amazing that you guys are providing that information to your client base. So since you are a family-run organization, you have roughly how many staff?
We have 5 staff. We have about 4 or 5 volunteers at one time that come and go. And we service about 30 clients.
Right.
And they're not all full-time because of the funding. Yes. That, you know, again, it depends on how much they can get from the government in order to come to the program. And some of them don't get enough to come every day. The family's hopes are that they would get funding so their adults with special needs can come 5 days a week. Some of them can only come 2 days, 1 day, depending again on how much funding they get from the government. So that's one of the big concerns with the parents, is that there isn't enough funding for them.
And I'm sure even if they come full-time or 1 day, what are some of the activities? Because even if it's one day, I'm sure they get enough that, you know, could really carry them during the week. What are some of the things that you do with them?
Well, we also do community outings. So sometime during the week, we'll plan 1 or 2 days during their time that they're there to go out in groups of 5 or 6s. They do basic computer skills.
Oh, good.
We help them with their feeding and changing. Our staff is also involved in arts and crafts. Some of them come in and we tailor the program depending on what the client's interests are, right? Because everybody has weaknesses and strengths and different levels and abilities, so we try to cater to that.
That's amazing. And you know what, that is the key things I think any parent who may be tuning in, you question when you're looking at programs, what are they doing, what's the staff like, you know, what's the cost, and are they doing things besides arts and crafts and playing games? Some of these adults are very capable of working in the community.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So with the life skills you provide, are there cooking classes? Are there telephone skills? Like I know some other programs offer other kind of life skills, but what specifically do you guys do?
Well, we have a washer and a dryer at the center, and we teach them how to fold clothes and sometimes how to wash.
Love you for that.
How to wash their clothes. Right.
Good.
We talk about personal hygiene. We have community leaders come in from other organizations. Peel Behavioral Services comes in, and we can teach them about certain types of behaviors that are inappropriate, and we talk about those life skills, safety and security in the community. So we would have the police come in and speak to them. The fire department comes in, talks about that aspect of safety and security. And just basic things that me and you take for granted on an every day-to-day basis that comes natural to us. That has to be all taught to the clients, like money management.
Money management is so key.
That's a huge one. And some of them will get it. Unfortunately, some of them will not get it, right? But for the ones that do have that ability to be taught those life skills, we push it for those clients especially.
So I'm trying to figure out what you guys don't do, because it sounds like you guys
try to cover every angle, you know.
Everything covered. Now, there's one piece I like to focus on quickly. As the show is called A Voice for All, we do focus on the parents and the community programs, but there's someone else that often gets put, you know, in the shadows, and that's the frontline staff. So quickly, tell me how amazing, you know, your staff are.
You know what, we are so proud of our staff, our frontline workers. They are so amazing. They do it out of the kindness of their heart. They're so compassionate and caring, and they're just amazing. We have such respect for them because they are there no matter what. Rain, shine, snow, whatever, they're there.
They show up every single day and never a complaint.
They're the ones that our hat goes off to because they're frontline and they're there. They're so compassionate. And again, we have such respect for them, and we love them and respect them, and we treat them like family, as we do everyone that comes to our center, clients, teachers, volunteers. You know, amazing.
And I think other organizations couldn't take Rosa Center as an example. To really uplift and showcase their staff, really put them at the forefront of the work that they are doing, and really acknowledge what they do and how important they are to us as an organization and to every one of our clients, because they are in the front lines. They do it every single day. We do everything in the background, the PR. We do all the accounts receivable, the office work and all that, but they are there hands-on, and they are really the true unsung heroes that a lot of people don't know much about. But they are there, and we're very proud of them.
Well, you guys are hearing it for yourself. I personally have a few clients who do attend Rosa Center, and from the minute I heard about them, and now I've had the opportunity to meet them, I could tell that this is definitely a program that if you do have a child who's over the age of 21, Rosa Center is a phenomenal place, I think, that your child will benefit from. We do have the info at the bottom of the screen for you, and you will see their information afterwards. They are very welcoming people, as you can tell, so do not hesitate to contact them. Even go in, you know. It's one thing to talk on the phone, but if you would like to go in and view it for yourself, I encourage you to do that. And I'm sure if your staff were here, or your parents, I think they would thank you. So as a frontline staff myself, thank you for what you're doing for our community.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
It is our pleasure.
Thank you. Continue what you're doing. We need groups like this. And I love to see that it's such a family-run business, that it's not this corporate organization, you know?
No.
It is family, there is love, there is so many things that we put into it. If you have any questions for me to get in touch with Rosa Center, like I said, missjams.pccs@gmail.com, or you could tweet me at missjamspccs. Once again, thank you, Rosa Center.
Thank you.
We'll see you after the break.
Thank you. Wow.
So we're clear?
Welcome back to Voice for All. I am your host, Jamila Gamble. If you're just tuning in, you missed an amazing interview with Rosa Center. Once again, thank you to Antonio and Maria. And it's so amazing to see that there's organizations like this that are available to you and your family here in Brampton. Like I said, they service individuals 21 and over with a variety of disabilities. And like I mentioned before, they offer so many services that could be beneficial to you, maybe if you want to get a job with Rosa Center or volunteer, or if you have a relative who's looking for a day program. This is a topic that I know is alarming to a lot of families, that what do I do once my child turns 21? So it is very comforting to know that there is an organization like Rosa Center who appreciates their staff, has such a tight-knit relationship with their families and their clientele. So once again, thank you to Rosa Center. Their information is available. rosacenter.com is their website. If you have any questions for me to get in touch with them for you, it's missjams.pcss@gmail.com, or you could tweet me at missjamspccs. We've had an amazing show so far. Thank you to the community voice segment, the people that we met at the Rose Theater. They gave us some valuable insight as to the disabilities that are right here in our community. Who do you know? Perhaps you know someone who could benefit from watching A Voice for All. Once again, Antonio and Maria gave us some good insight about funding, how to communicate with their clientele, and the importance of offering life skills. Maybe you have a topic that would be beneficial for the show. Once again, contact me, missjamspcs@gmail.com. I would love to hear your feedback. We've had an amazing show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on A Voice for All.